Welcome everybody, and I'm Jennifer, and I'm one of the teaching liaison librarians at Ognuti Library. I'm going to turn my video off now because I don't want my image in the recording to obstruct information that I'm going to show. I wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands within our footprint areas, the Awabakal, Darkinjung, Biripi, Worimi, Wonnarua, and Eora nations. I pay respects to the wisdom of the elders past, present, and emerging. I would like to extend this acknowledgement and pay my respects to any Aboriginal and or Torres Strait Islander peoples here today or who are watching this recording. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. So today we're going to be focusing on referencing, and in particular, we're going to be looking at the elements of a citation. So what is a citation? Citation is also known as a reference, and it is a reference to a source of information such as a book, article, website, or other work. A citation is made up of elements of information that can be used to locate a resource. And the format of a citation may vary depending on the referencing style, but the information contained in each citation remains the same. Now, there are two types of citations. You have the in-text citations and reference list entries. The in-text citation is a brief reference to a source within the body of a written work, such as an essay or a research paper, and examples are highlighted in the first half of the screen. And the citation in the reference list is a detailed entry that provides all the necessary information about the source that you've used. It typically includes authors' names, title of the work, publication date, publisher, and other relevant details. And a reference list always appears at the end of the document. There are four fundamental elements of a citation, and it might help to think of them as the 4 W's. So these are the who, the when, the what, and the where. So the who usually refers to the author or editors or creators of the work. The when relates to the year of publication. The what refers to the title of the work, and the where is the location of the source or the publisher of the source. So we're now going to look at some examples of standard elements required for citing different sources. And I'm going to show these examples in the APA style. So here we have an electronic book, and the standard elements required for the citation of a book are the author, year of publication, the title, the edition, if it's not the first edition, I'll go through that in a minute, and the publisher, and the DOI if it is available. So you might be wondering what DOI is. So DOI stands for Digital Object Identifier. And this is a unique set of numbers and letters that identify a digital object. So in this case, this digital object is a book. So it identifies this digital object on the internet. So as an analogy, you could think of your student card and your student ID as being unique to you. It identifies you as a student at the University of Newcastle. Similarly, the DOI identifies this book on the internet. So let's go into the actual document. Okay, so here's the book. So here we can actually see the elements that were required to construct our citation. We've got the title of the book, and we've got the author who it was written by, title of the book and author, and you can also see here you've also got title, subtitle, and author. Now the year of publication is also here, so it's published in 2012. You'll notice there it says edition 1. So when it says first edition, you don't need to write that number down. But if it said edition 2, then you would need to say it's the second edition that you used. But typically, if it's the first edition, you don't need to write that edition statement down. And the publisher here is Ellen and Unwin. So if we go back to our slides here, the elements we have are author, and in APA style, it's written like this: Gamage B, 2012, the biggest estate on earth, how Aborigines made Australia, and publisher. We don't have a DOI because we couldn't see a DOI there. I'll go on to our next source, citation of a book chapter. Now, occasionally you might use books that have been edited by one or two people or a number of people, and where each chapter is written or contributed by different authors. So in this example here, the book's called Public Sociology, and you'll notice in the red banner here, it says edited by John Germov and Marilyn Poole. Let's go to a chapter. And you notice this is chapter 6. The title of the chapter is Youth, Identity and Social Change. It's written by a different person called David Ferrugia. And you notice it has a DOI there. Okay. So coming back to our slides here, the basic elements that you need for the citation of a book chapter in a book that's been edited. You need to cite the author of the chapter, the year of publication, and that would be the year of publication of the book, the title of the chapter that you're citing, the editors of the book title, the edition statement, the page range of the chapter, the publisher, and the DOI if available. So the citation, therefore, is Ferrugia D for the year of publication. Title of the chapter is Youth, Identity and Social Change. It's published in the book, Public Sociology and Introduction to Australian Society, edited by J. Germov and M. Poole. So we've got editors there. It's the 5th edition, and the page range is page 123 to 138. Published by Taylor and Francis. There's a typo there. And the DOI is written as a URL link. So those are the basic elements required for a book chapter. Now we come to a journal article. So again, the basic elements required are author, year of publication, title of the article, the journal title, volume, issue, page range, and again, DOI if available. So let's have a look at this example here. So this is published in the British Journal of Ophthalmology. Here's the title of the article. These are the authors. I would usually go into the PDF because that would give me more details. But you can see here straight away it's volume 108, issue 2. Okay, and if we scroll down, there's usually information on the bottom of the document here. And so there's information here, and there's also information here. And this is where you can get the page range and the DOI. Okay. So if we come back here to write your citation, you've got the authors, date of publication, title of the article, title of the journal, volume, issue number, page range, and DOI. Okay, so the standard elements now required for the citation of a website are the author, year that the website is published or updated, month and day, if there is one. If there isn't, then you just put the year, title, and the URL. Okay, so let's have a look at this example. So this is the webpage of the United Nations. This is the title of the webpage, the 17 goals. We'll scroll down to see if we can see a date. So if I haven't seen a date, and if there is a date here, it's usually copyright date, so you don't use that as well. So if you can't see an obvious date of when this document was produced or this information was put on the website, then what you would do is, coming back here, you would say no date. So the author is the United Nations. We use ND for no date, the title of the page, the 17 goals, and the website URL. So the website URL is just this URL here. You just copy that and put that into your document. So we have a number of help options available. You've got your library chat. If you want to, you can book a librarian if you're having trouble sourcing information or even wanting help for how to format your citations. You can book a librarian, or if you have general questions, you can just ask the library. Are there any questions from anybody in the audience?
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you're talking about location in a citation, does that mean you have to say where the resource was geographically published, or is it something different?
No, let me just go back to that page. So if we're talking about this one here.
Yeah.
For example, location is basically if it's an electronic document. For example, we want to know, your lecturers would want to know where they can find it. So therefore, if it has a DOI, you would put the DOI in. This one doesn't have a DOI, but remember in this example, it had a DOI here in the chapter.
Yeah.
So you would just put that down there. You don't need to say where it was published, but you do need to put the publisher in.
Okay, so it's basically so that your readers can find the resource if they need to.
That's right. Yes, and they know who published it so that, you know, they can cross-check.
Thank you. And my other question is, when you're putting in URLs of resources in your citations, do you have to hyperlink them?
Usually they will hyperlink anyway if you're putting them in your Word document. But more detail, depending on the style, some require them to be hyperlinked, some don't. But you would refer back to your particular referencing style guide.
Okay, and the library has referencing guides?
Yes, and we're actually covering that this afternoon.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.